Happy Mystery Movie Monday, so I just saw The Fire Inside. Let's talk about it. I'm actually really glad I got to see this because this is one of 4 movies coming out on Christmas Day. A Complete Unknown, Baby Girl, Nosferatu, and this movie. Directed by Rachel Morrison, in her, as far as I can tell, her feature film directorial debut. She's directed some episodes of television, The Mandalorian being one, but for the most part, she is a cinematographer turned director, and this was written by Barry Jenkins. I didn't know that until the end credits. Stars Ryan Destiny, Brian Tyree Henry. This is the story of Claressa Shields, who is a 2-time Olympic gold medal boxer. She's the first American woman to win a gold medal in boxing, and she is the first male or female boxer to win back-to-back gold medals. She won 2012 and 2016. There's nothing more American to me than either a military movie or a sports movie. But this is a different kind of sports movie. Now, normally in most sports movies, the movie revolves around the game or the sport. This is a little bit different. While we start with her boxing, we meet her as an 11-year-old girl training for the first time, and then we jump 5 years ahead and she's preparing for the Olympic trials. We see her go through a qualifier in Washington, then the trials in China, and then eventually go on to compete in London, where she wins the gold medal at 17 years of age. But this movie doesn't focus on the journey to the gold. This is more of a coming-of-age story. This movie is about Flint, Michigan. Born and raised in Flint, Michigan, she lives with her single mom and her younger brother and sister, and she has her coach, Jason, played by Brian Tyree Henry. She comes from nothing, and it is important that we see that she comes from nothing. While this is an underdog story, it's not really about class. If I had to pick what is the central theme here, it's, sometimes your best isn't enough. And that's unfair. She did it. She got the thing. An Olympic gold medal, and it's still not enough. There's also a little bit of messaging in here about the discrepancies between, male and female sports, but it's more towards the end. And honestly, it didn't feel preachy. It flowed with the story very, very well because it was a part of her journey in realizing that, she did something that no other American boxer had done since the 70s. And she was the first woman to do it in terms of winning a gold medal in boxing. And yet she was still seen as less than or not as important or not as worthy of an endorsement as male athletes. And that was something at her young age she had to, deal with and fight. While so many movies and even television shows can be very preachy on this subject to a point where people tune out, I think they approach it in such an honest and blunt way. It just makes sense of the story. So I think people are more apt to listen. I think people should listen anyway, but you got to work with what you got. I have a love-hate relationship with biopics. Biopics for me, they're either just very episodic, soulless. It's like they're trying to cram as many life events into a short amount of time. But then you have some that are just stellar. They keep it simple while giving us all of the information that we need. Oppenheimer, Elvis, Lee with Kate Winslet, Maria, Angelina Jolie. I really enjoyed those. But I think about biopics like the Amy Winehouse Back to Black earlier this year. That was not very good. The Bob Marley one. I felt like that was going in the right direction, but it was just okay. But this right here is a different kind of biopic because it's a sports biopic. So sports movies tend to have a structure to them. This breaks that structure a little bit. So we've got this coming of age story wrapped around a boxing ring. And honest to God, this was very well done. I enjoyed that so much. I can't remember if I mentioned this already or not, but this is one of 4 movies coming out on Christmas Day, on or around Christmas Day. So you have A Complete Unknown, Baby Girl, Nosferatu, and then this movie right here, The Fire Inside. But you also have Sonic 3 and Mufasa coming out as well. So you're a family. You already opened all the presents. You ate all the food. You want something else to do Christmas evening that's outside the house but doesn't require any effort. You want to go to the movies. So understandably so, you probably want to take your kids to see Mufasa or Sonic 3, but if you're a parent and you're like, you know what, I want to enjoy the movie too, here you go. It's PG-13 for language, but I think, your young kid will enjoy this just fine, especially if you have a daughter. Personal opinion, this movie is kind of an homage to The Oldest Daughter. If you know, you know. Barry Jenkins being our screenwriter definitely makes sense. The writing was, the dialogue, I love good dialogue. I don't know, I'm weird like that, but it flowed very well. It was very poetic in its movements. So I really enjoyed the writing here. And then you have our director. This is her first directorial feature, but she isn't a cinematographer by trade. That's what she's been doing for the last however many years. And you could definitely see the influence in the composition of shots along with her direction. But Ryan Destiny, who plays our lead here, she is fantastic. Oh my gosh. She did it. That was such a layered, beautiful, blooming kind of performance. She was so strong, but she was vulnerable. She was such a girl, but she was the oldest daughter. There's a certain kind of strength that just comes up when you kind of carry that weight. I'm already obsessed with Brian Tyree Henry. I just love him. He's either making me cry, he's making me laugh, or he's encouraging me in some way. He is Academy Award nominated. He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor 2023. So the 2022 film Causeway, which was shot here in New Orleans. He starred in that with Jennifer Lawrence. Great movie. I believe it's on Netflix. Him and Ryan Destiny have great chemistry. They moved together very well. They bounced off one another very well. They made a great pair, peas in a pod, as it's mentioned in the film. And I don't know, I liked that duo. But Ryan Destiny, I hope there are more opportunities for her. She's an incredible talent. An incredible talent. Is this the best movie I've seen all year? No, but I really have nothing negative to say about it. Like, that was just a solid, well done film. Like, it's just good. It's good. I can't complain. I can't.